Hey everybody, let's talk about what's your number today. And I know that you're wondering, what does that mean? So what your number to me means, what is the number that you want to get to in a passive monthly income so that you don't have to work anymore? And I think that is like why most people start doing real estate. I think a lot of channels that you'll watch on YouTube and things will talk about like how much money they have, and I have $100 million or we have $50 million. It's like, and you wonder, like, that's such a daunting thought. I'm gonna get to 50 million or I'm gonna get to $100 million. Like, that's like expert level. Like, I think that what you need to start with is, where do I realistically need to get to? So like, I encourage you to do some calculations on your expenses. If you don't already have that, determine what your monthly expenses are. So like your house, or determine what they would be now and determine what they would be in the future when you have, the realistic goals achieved that you want. Like, I want a 4-bedroom house in this area, or I want a condo in Florida, or I want, a house and a condo, whatever it is. Sorry, my keys are chattering here. Just take them off this clip here. These are my current landlord set of keys here. But so I would say that I encourage you to determine what you think your annual or monthly income would be that you need. Comment it below so that I can help you achieve it, and I can get a better idea of where the normal number is for people. I know that depending on where you live, it might be different in relation to your housing costs and things like that, but make sure you take into consideration your house, your food, your insurances, your taxes, as well as, when I say insurances, health insurance. Make sure you take that into consideration. Ask yourself, like, what are we paying now and what are we going to pay in the future when we have a kid or don't have a kid or whatever it might be. I don't need annual totals, I don't need monthly totals, I just need one of the two, and then I can figure it out myself, like what your number would be. And then we're going to talk about, what's a realistic achievement, and then when can you stop or choose to surpass your goal. And like, some people say like 10x it. Oh, 10x your goal. I want 10,000. No, now I want 100,000 a month. Like, let's start with just the 10,000. Let's start with just getting you to what you actually need, not what you think you're going to need. And let's also assume that, this platform that we are going to build, and I'm going to inform you how to do it and teach you some of the basics to avoid risk and have calculated risk. Let's assume that the income we're generating increases at the same rate that your expenses increase. So like, let's say it just goes along with inflation, just make an assumption. Maybe ours will increase a little bit faster because it's just how we would determine that we would perform and calculate our process so that you do not get into a pickle. I think, like, I encourage you to, even if you don't comment below, I encourage you to just sit down and figure that stuff out, figure out what your number might be or what your expenses are right now so that you can make a goal, and then also I encourage you to determine what you make, what you spend, and then how much you actually could save. And then we can determine how long it would take you to start, saving based on your savings rate. It could be sooner depending on the strategy we would perform. It could be later depending on how much, you want to acquire to start, how much time you have, because, I think that time is just as important as money. I think that management and, learning yourself and how to do things is more important than most other things that you could get involved in commercial real estate, because that's what I do. We can also talk about owning a business, like you want to own a laundromat or a self-storage facility. Like, a lot of these real estate assets I consider businesses. So like, Airbnbs, anything with short-term stays, hotels, anything with large numbers of units and low lease terms. So like self-storage, I consider that a business. Like laundromat, yeah, you might think it's a piece of real estate. It's really a business. You own real estate and you have a business, but it's more of a business. You're going to start a dry cleaner. That's probably no real estate. Just like laundromat can be no real estate. But I've helped people optimize all types of businesses in real estate for the most part. So let's just start from the ground up and say, what's the number? Let's figure that out. Please comment below. I really encourage you to sit down for 30 minutes or an hour or however long it takes and just determine what these numbers are. Comment it below so that I can help provide you with content that is supportable and helps you actually determine a starting point. But thank you for listening. Please subscribe. Please look at the links below and consider supporting me on Patreon and all those other platforms. But thank you very much, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.